Peekaboo, I see you. How are we doing today? How was our Easter weekend? I bet it was amazing with loads to eat and drink, but I'm sure we didn't forget the reason for the season. Jesus is alive. Okay, so this week promises to be interesting as I have loads of amazing activities to do with you. Okay, so today I'm going to be teaching on supporting math activities. I know, like I said, we've had loads of resources to use, but today we're going to look at how we can actually support math activities. And for the purpose of this support program, I'm going to be running modules. And the first module is SP Module 1. That's Support Program Module 1. And that is supporting math activities. Okay, so for the early years, we have loads and loads of topics in math that we explore, like addition, subtraction, measurement, patterns. So today we're going to be looking at ordering numbers, addition, and subtraction. So quickly, I'm going to tell you how you can support your child's math activity when it comes to ordering numbers, addition, or subtraction. Now, what I have with me here is a puppet book, and I'm going to tell you what I need this puppet book for. Now, before we start teaching, we have what we call starter. Now, the starter is just how we start our lesson or how we get the children's attention. Now, you would agree with me that for younger children, when you do a lot of abstract teaching, they can't link it. So we do a lot of concrete, something they can see, something they can hear, something they can feel, something they can touch. Right? So I have a puppet book here and I'm going to use it to tell a story. Now, I know that I've told my children that today we're going to be learning to write numbers 1 to 10. But what I'm not going to do is just get them to just give them a paper, give them their book to say, you know what, let's start writing numbers 1 to 10. No, I'm going to get their attention. I'm going to make sure I have them where I want them, and then we can start. So I have my puppet book and I'm going to tell a story. Now, this story is on numbers all the way to 10, right? So I go, once upon a time, and they all respond. There was a big yellow duck that had 5 ducklings, and they go, oh wow, 5. And I say, let's count the ducklings together. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 ducklings. And then we go all the way till we get to 10. So that way I've gotten their attention. And then after that, I don't just stop there. I can actually get them to do something. So I go, I pick another rhyme like 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. 7, 8, lay them straight. 9, 10, a big fat hen. And so that way I've gotten their attention. So trust me, when I bring their books or when I bring their papers and I say, you know what, now let's order numbers to 10. Remember, just like the 5 ducklings. Now, I want us to count to 10. Let's have 10 ducklings and we go 1. We get all the way to 10 without any force. Right? Without any force. They just do it and they're happy. You see some of them that even tell you, I want to go on, miss. I want to get to 15. I want to get to 20. Now I have achieved. Teaching and learning has taken place. And for the older children, we can also do the same. When I say older children, I mean for nursery and reception. We can always do the same. Tell them stories. They can fill in the missing numbers. They can write the number next. And then they just get to enjoy what they're doing. It doesn't become a task. It becomes fun. Right? So I can have flashcards, where I have missing numbers or I have number before and number next. Or I can make it like a fun competition. Okay, I want to see the first person to actually fill in the missing numbers, and you see them, they're counting. But what I remind them to do is always to count. When they get stuck, they can actually go back to a particular number and count on. Because for me, cramming numbers has actually lost the whole idea of number ordering. If the children cannot identify random numbers, then the whole idea of writing numbers is lost. So for me, as an educator, I make sure that my children don't just write the numbers. They are able to identify them. And so for me, I'm usually not always in a hurry to make sure they move to the next one, right? So I make sure they get the number ordering, and they're able to identify. So I do a lot of things like number stories. You know, I give my numbers a lot of names. Like when we get to 20, I tell them we're done with the 20 family. And in the 20 family, Mr. 2 must always start. Now we get to the 30 family. Now when we get to the 30 family, Mr. 3 must always start. And you see them, they get to 39. Oh, after 39, we go to 40. Mr. 4 must always start. That way, children are able to do these things, you know, having fun as against just it being a task. Okay, now we go to addition and subtraction. First, we go to addition. When I want to introduce addition to children, I don't just put numbers aside and tell them put it together. I start with introducing the sign. And I tell them what sign is this, and I teach them its plus sign. When I say that sign, it means I should put together. Now, I teach them an action. I put together, right? So whenever they see this sign and they just think, oh, I put together. So whatever number they have on this side, whatever number they have on that side, they put it together to get the correct answer. And then I also use flashcards. I can always use flashcards. Now, these flashcards are not flashcards that you must get just the way they are. You can always make them. You can see it's just a number with a strawberry and then the plus sign there and 6. And then whatever the answer is, so 3 plus 6 is 9. They just peg the 9. I'm sure we all have pegs, we have papers, we have markers, or we have pens that we can actually use to create this. So this is a fun activity. You can give them as much as 10, you know, simple sums to do. And then once they're done with it, quickly just peg it. Now, when you peg, you meet the needs of the kinesthetic because they're doing. Right? They're doing. So once you know your child's learning style, you can be able to use any of these resources, even handmade, to meet them at the point at their learning need. Okay, so we can use flashcards. We can also use worksheets. After we've used our flashcards, after we've used our stories, we can use worksheets. Now, these worksheets are just to track where your child is. Because once the child has written it down, you're able to tell, oh, yes, this child understands everything I have been saying. So you can print out worksheets, or you can actually make them by just writing. Okay, and then we move to subtraction. So remember, can you remember what I said the action for addition is? Yes, I put together. Well done. Now for subtraction, I take away. Right? You know, just like a ballerina, I take away. So they know that when I see the sign addition, I put together, and then I tell them that this sign is the sign for subtraction. Just a dash. So when I see the dash, I know I'm taking away. But when I see the plus, I know I'm putting together. So for the subtraction, you can do a lot of songs. Like I'm sure we know the song. Let's sing together. 10 green bottles. 10 green bottles standing on the wall. If one green bottle should accidentally fall, there'll be 9 green bottles standing on the wall. Now we can do that all the way to 10. And that way it's easy for the children to know. Or we teach them that addition is going forward and subtraction is going backward. So when I want to do my subtraction sums, I go back. And when I want to do addition, I just go forward. So there are different strategies, there are different activities, whichever works for you, whichever can meet the need of your child. Just as we said, your child's learning style is actually what you can do. You can also expose them to new resources, to new activities, to new styles as well, so that we know that one is not just cast in concrete. And then, like I said, we have bottle corks. You can always use bottle corks, you know, for them to be able to count, to subtract. And these bottle corks are accessible to everybody, from water bottle, drinks. You can also use their juice packs, the straws, Capri Sun, Ribena, you know, Vigil milk. You can always use the straws. You can use their pencils, their water bottles, their cups, whatever it is, they can easily relate with. So I hope this video has been pretty helpful, you know, to tell us how we can better support our children with math activities. So please go to my YouTube channel, Uchi Ekoro. Go to, you know, my Instagram handle at Uchi1. Drop your comments and let me know what other areas you would like me to help you out, especially in math. So I'm waiting for your comments. I'm waiting for your feedback. From me to you, have an amazing, amazing day.